Now we are going to see the second part of the ecosystem, that is laws of thermodynamics. The storage and loss of energy in an ecosystem is based on two basic laws of thermodynamics, such as first law of thermodynamics and the second law of thermodynamics. First law states that energy can be transmitted from one system to another in various forms. Energy cannot be destroyed or created, but it can be transferred from one form to another. As a result, the quantity of energy present in the universe is constant. Example, here light energy is converted into chemical energy. See, in this equation, you can see light energy is converted into chemical energy, that is 6 CO2, that is carbon dioxide, plus 6 hydrogen, that is water, 6 water. With the help of light as well as the chlorophyll, it is converted into chemical, that is C6H12O6 is the glucose and 6O2, that is oxygen is giving out. Next, second law of thermodynamics. It states that energy transformation results in the reduction of the free energy of the system. Usually, energy transformation cannot be 100% efficient. Example, 10% law. Now we can see about the 10% law detail. What is meant by 10% law? This law was proposed by Lindemann. It states that during transfer of food energy from one trophic level to another, only about 10% is stored at every level and rest of them 90% is lost in respiration, decomposition and in the form of heat. Hence the law is called as 10% law. In this you see sunlight, that is giving 1000 joules of energy, whereas the producers will absorb only 100 joules and remaining 900 joules of energy lost in the atmosphere, and it is transferred to the primary consumers, that is 100 joules of energy is consumed by the primary consumers while eating the producers, and 10 joules will be absorbed by the primary consumers and remaining 90 joules energy is lost in the atmosphere. In the third, that is secondary consumer, among 10 joule, 1 joule will be absorbed by the secondary consumer and remaining 9 joule is energy lost in the atmosphere. And among the 1 joule, the tertiary consumer will consume only 0.1 joule of energy and the remaining 0.9 joule of energy is lost in the atmosphere. I think so you have clear about this law, that is 10% law. Next we can go for the food chain. The movement of energy from producers up to top carnivores is known as food chain. That is, in any food chain, energy flows from producers to primary consumers, then from primary consumer to secondary consumer, and finally secondary consumer to tertiary consumer. There are two types of food chain, that is grazing food chain and detritus food chain. Now we are going to see about the grazing food chain. It is the main source of energy is the sun, and the first link is the producer, that is the plants, and the second link is the primary consumer, that is the mouse, and the third link is the secondary consumer, that is the snake, and the fourth link is tertiary consumer, that is the eagle. See, this is the diagrammatic representation of the grazing food chain, that is the grass, which is called as the producer, mouse is said to be a primary consumer, and the snake is the secondary consumer, and the eagle is the tertiary consumer. Now we are going to see about the detritus food chain. This type of food chain begins with dead organic matter, which is an important source of energy. The transfer of energy from the dead organic matter is transferred through a series of organisms called detritus consumers, that is detrivorous to small carnivorous, then large top carnivorous with repeated eating and being eaten respectively. This is called as detritus food chain. This is the diagrammatic representation of detritus food chain, that is the fallen leaf which is said to be detritus, and it is eaten by the detrivorous, that is earthworm. Then it is eaten by the small carnivorous, that is the blackbird, and then it is eaten by the top carnivorous, that is hawk. Now we are going to see about the food web. The interlocking pattern of a number of food chain form a web like arrangement called food web. It is the basic unit of ecosystem to maintain its stability in nature, which is also called as homeostasis. Example, in a grazing food chain of a grassland is the absence of a rabbit. A mouse may also eat food grains. The mouse in turn may be eaten directly by a hawk or by a snake, and the snake may be directly eaten by hawks. Hence, this interlocking pattern of food chain is the food web, and the species of an ecosystem may remain balanced to each other by some sort of natural check. In this figure, you can see that a food web in a grassland ecosystem, that is the plants will be eaten either by a grasshopper or a rabbit or the mouse, and it can be eaten by the hawk. Sometimes snake will be eaten by the hawk, and grasshopper will be eaten by the hawk, lizard also will be eaten by the hawk, or any other organism will be eaten by any other organism. So this is called as the detritus representation, that is food web. Now we are going to see about the signification of food web. Food web is constructed to describe the species. Interaction is called direct interaction. It can be used to illustrate indirect interaction among different species. It can be also used to study about the top, bottom or bottom up control of community structure. It can be used to reveal different patterns of energy transfer in terrestrial and aquatic ecosystem. Now we are going to see about the ecological pyramids. Graphical representation of the tropical structure and function at successive tropic levels of an ecosystem is called ecological pyramid. The concept of ecological pyramid was introduced by Charles Elton in 1927. Thus, they are also called as Elletian pyramid. They are of three types, that is pyramid of number, pyramid of biomass, and pyramid of energy. Next, pyramid of number. A graphical representation of the number of organisms present at each successive tropical level in an ecosystem is called as pyramid of number. There are three different shapes of pyramid: upright, spindle, and inverted. There is a gradual decrease in the number of organisms in each tropical level from producers to primary consumers, and then to secondary consumers, and finally to tertiary consumers. Therefore, pyramids of number in grassland and pond ecosystem are always upright. Next, forest ecosystem. The pyramid of number is somewhat different in shape. It is because of the base T1 of the pyramid occupies large sized trees, that is producer, which are less in number. Herbivorous T2, fruit eating birds, elephant, deer occupying second tropical level are more in number than the producer. In final tropical level, T4, tertiary consumer, lion are lesser in number than the secondary consumer, T3, that is fox and snake. Therefore, pyramid of number in forest ecosystem looks spindle shaped. Next, the pyramid of number in a parasitic ecosystem is always inverted because it starts with a single tree. Therefore, there is a gradual increase in the number of organisms in successive tropic level from producer to tertiary consumers. In this figure, you can see the pyramids of numbers, that is in individuals per unit area in different types of ecosystem, that is upright, that is A1 is the grassland ecosystem, B is the pond ecosystem. These two were the upright ecosystem. In C and D, you can see the spindle shaped and the inverted. In C, you can see the forest ecosystem having only one tree at the T1, that is the producer level, and the spindle shaped, it is said to be And in the D tab you can see the one tree in the parasitic ecosystem, that is in the T1 level we can see only the one tree, and all the organism getting increasing towards the tropical level, that is T4 level. Now we are going to see the pyramid of biomass. A graphical representation of the amount of organic material biomass present at each successive tropical level in an ecosystem is called pyramid of biomass. In grassland and forest ecosystem, there is a gradual decrease in biomass of an organism at successive tropical level from producers to top carnivores, that is tertiary consumer. Therefore, these two ecosystems show pyramid as upright pyramids of biomass. However, in pond ecosystem, the bottom of the pyramid is occupied by the producer, which compare very small organism possessing the least biomass, and so the value gradually increases towards the tip of a pyramid. Therefore, the pyramid of biomass is always inverted in shape. Now we are going to see the pyramid of energy. A gradual representation of energy flow at each successive tropical level in an ecosystem is called as pyramid of energy. The bottom of the pyramid of energy is occupied by the producer. There is a gradual decrease in energy transfer at successive tropic level from producers to the upper level. Therefore, the pyramid of energy is always upright. In this you can see the pyramid of biomass, that is dry weight per unit area in different types of ecosystem. You can see the first A and B as the grassland ecosystem and the forest ecosystem. These two were the upright ecosystem, where C is the inverted shape, that is the pond ecosystem. In this picture you can see the pyramid of energy, that is kilocalorie per unit area time in an ecosystem. In this you can see the pyramid of energy, that is from the producers to the tertiary consumers, till which it uses the energy, that is 0.1 joule the hawk or eagle is using. From 1000 joules to it is get decreased to 0.1 joule, and only little amount of energy will be used by tertiary consumers.